So hey, welcome to Fun Time Travel. You know, nearly every couple has a planner, and well, I am that planner.
And I'm the one that says, where are we going again?
So, you know, there's so many tools out there that you can use to help plan for a cruise or a vacation or whatever, and we're going to share some of them that we use for planning a cruise.
And we're also going to share how one of them set us up for a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, just a little bit. So we'll get into that right after this. So there's so many tools you use to get ready for your cruise. You know, I used tons of them before our first cruise, and certainly before this latest cruise. I spent so much time researching and chasing down things. It was our first one after the COVID restart. So there's lots of protocols, and we just wanted to keep up with them all.
So the first place to go would be your cruise line website, whichever cruise line you're using.
Yeah.
And most of them should have up-to-date info.
Yeah.
But not always.
Not always, no.
Which we have found out, especially with COVID,
Yeah.
things have changed so fast
Yeah.
that it may be updated in one spot, but not necessarily in another. But yeah, so that's why it's important to look at a lot of different sources. Things are changing so often, and we'll share some additional resources in a minute.
Yeah.
They all have deck plans on the cruise line websites, and that was really informational for us, especially for the Mardi Gras, because we had no clue.
Yeah,
Never
no idea.
been. I mean, brand new to everybody, obviously, but just to kind of get your bearings before you go. You can get a look at where your cabin will be and where all the fun stuff is at. And always sign up for the loyalty programs. It's an easy way to save a little bit of money.
Yeah, it's really helped us out. So listen, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a video. And if you're a subscriber, hey, thanks for coming back. Another place you can go, it's been invaluable to us, is Cruise Critic. Now, some people hate Cruise Critic, some people love it. I find that it has some pretty good cruise news. I think it's a great place to maybe check out the sales on cruises. I don't know that I necessarily use that. You got wherever your favorite place to buy your cruise is, go there. But it's a great place to just kind of have like a high-level view. So much information. They have professional reviews. They have passenger reviews of nearly every ship and every cruise out there. It's probably important to read those with kind of a grain of salt, because you're going to get some people that no matter what they see, it's the greatest ever. And you're going to have some people that are going to be like, I wouldn't let my dog eat this food. You just don't know. And maybe it's not fit for a dog. I don't know. But, read it and kind of weed out the really good ones, the really bad ones, and somewhere in the middle is probably the truth. But there's a lot of information about almost every ship out there, and there's tons of menus. So check that out. I think Cruise Critic's really helpful.
The next one would be YouTube, which you clearly know about. We watched tons of videos by so many different great creators. Very informational.
Yeah.
Just fun. It makes it fun. Sometimes you can get up to the minute information about changes. Like we said, news
updates, yeah.
Newses.
That's easy for you to say.
Anyways, you can see tons of cabin walkthroughs as well as ship walkthroughs.
And we were inspired by some really good channels to start our channel. A couple that really come to mind: EECC Travels. Check them out. They're doing lots of neat stuff, and not just cruising now. La Lido Loca. Tony and Jenny are just freaking hilarious. We have so much fun watching them. And Para DJ just does such a great job, especially with like their vlogs. But there's news, there's information. We'll put a link to these below. We're not in competition with them. Besides, we're not any competition to them. But we learned so much from watching them, and I think they'll help you out a ton.
So another one would be Facebook. All the cruise lines have Facebook pages that give some great information. Mm-hmm. We're kind of biased and think that Carnival may do it best due to their excellent brand ambassador, John Heald. He's just amazing at his job.
He's done a great job. He's such a sweet-natured guy.
Just, if you haven't seen him, look him up. He's on Facebook. He's got his own page, actually, but yeah. Actually, it helped us keep up on vaccine and testing protocols as well as tell us about cancellations. Yeah,
that was a huge resource for us. And another resource we found, there are tons of Facebook groups out there. And again, if you're like, I hate Facebook, well, then don't listen to this part. But tune back in, don't leave us, because we got an interesting story that kind of came out of this. But Facebook groups that are dedicated not only to each cruise line, which those are out there, but most ships have their own group. It's amazing how many people are partial, like they have a favorite ship and they only want to sail that ship. That's great. Most major lines have groups that are even dedicated to each sailing. And again, these aren't really run by the group, I mean by the cruise line. They're run by individuals, but very, very helpful.
And we've joined several groups, including the one for our sailing.
Yeah.
And it was, again, very, very helpful. We made some great friends, including our great travel agent, Nicole Azarro.
So this Facebook for our sailing was again, I just keep saying great, but and you know, your mileage may vary on this because they're run by individuals. Depending on the individual running the group, it may have an effect on how good the group is. Our group had over 800 people in it. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Every day we would talk like, did you see this? Did you see this? Yeah, that was so funny. It set up tons of meet and greets on the cruise. They had a bar crawl. They had a cabin crawl where they could show off the cabins. There was just lots of fun stuff, and it led to a bit of a unexpected surprise for us.
It was very educational.
Yeah, but even the surprise was a bit educational. So, in the group one day, it was a Thursday. I remember it vividly. And we're going to try to get through this quick because, but long story short, someone posted a thing in the group like there were all these meetups going on, and all of a sudden someone comes in and says, hey, where are all my pineapple people at? Now, we had no idea what, we're in our later 40s and think we're kind of worldly wise. And I said to Melissa, what's a pineapple people? And she said, I don't know. So we looked it up, and lo and behold, pineapples have lots of meanings, friendliness, hospitality, different things. And apparently somewhere along the line, the hospitality took on an even more hospitable meaning. To put this gently, because, lots of people probably watch this, there are people who are maybe a little more open in their marriage vows than others. They like to swing from swing sets, and there are couples who like to share. Is that maybe a good way to put it? Look up pineapple, you'll figure it out. Long story short, short story long. Short story long.
We actually, people started making comments after it was explained
what it was. Yeah, the whole pineapple thing was all about.
So then there was people that were like, so wait, can I not wear pineapples anymore? Can I not decorate with pineapples?
If I wear a pineapple, does that mean I'm looking for a new friend, or we're looking for new friends?
And it just kept going, and it was hilarious.
But it became like everybody was seeing pineapples everywhere all of a sudden. It was
just this pictures at the grocery store and signs on the side of the road.
For days, we would open up our Facebook group and laugh and be like, oh my gosh.
And none of it was like to make fun of anybody or their lifestyle.
And there wasn't anything vulgar.
No,
It was really, honestly, the word cute comes to mind because it was really funny how people ran with it. So, me being me.
Yeah. Somebody decided to make his own meet and greet.
Well, that's not really how, it wasn't not a meet and greet. We made an event.
There you go.
We made an event. It was a day-long event. It was like, hey, listen, let's take back the pineapple. Not that if you are in the pineapple crowd, more power to you.
We love you. Yes.
No judgment here.
No.
But the thing became of its life of its own in the group, and so we just said, hey, let's have everybody on that day. Let's all wear pineapple because it's just funny. It would be funny if everybody wore unicorns.
Right.
And so we just decided.
Like 400 or 500 people wearing the same thing. It just,
So the day came, and this is this shirt, the infamous shirt. And there were a number of other like inside jokes for the Facebook group. And so as I'm walking down the passageways or whatever, people are like, oh my God, you're from the Facebook group. So it was just a lot of fun. It was funny. And then we got to a bar, we sat down. We're not going to name the bar. We're just going to say we were at a bar. And as we were sitting there with some friends that, longtime friends that we were cruising with, the bartender was making a drink for us, making an old fashioned. And as we're sitting there making the drink, I look across the way and a guy across the way kind of raises his glass at us. And I thought he had an old fashioned. And I was like, oh yeah, I kind of waved back, like, cause like we've never met a stranger. So, oh, how's it going? Well, apparently that never met a stranger situation didn't work in our favor, because next thing I know, or did, I don't know. I mean, next thing I know, the guy with the drink is sitting right next to me, and his wife kind of eases up next to her, and we're talking. And as we begin to chit chat, I'm thinking we're talking about bourbon. And
well, the whole time he's talking to them, I'm talking to our friends that went on the cruise with us, not knowing what's going on over here. So,
and later we find out from the friends that we were talking to that there was some checking out going on, and we didn't notice it. And later, all of a sudden, I realized, as about way too deep into the conversation, I realized we're talking about bourbon, but the friendship was, I don't know. I got weirded out, and I'm like, so guys, we're supposed to go to the other bar now, right? Yeah, I think we're supposed to go. And so it was different. It was so all
very
that.
shortly after that, he took off his pineapple shirt.
Yeah, so anyhow. Could this get any more awkward? But you know what? They
keeping it real.
This is just us. Hopefully, so we don't want to discourage you from using planning tools. In fact, we want to encourage you to use planning tools. We don't want to discourage you from using Facebook groups, because you know what? They really did help us out. Yeah. And you know, sometimes we just don't know any better, because you know, sometimes not everything goes as planned.
Very true.
But you know what they say: when life gives you pineapples, you make a pina colada.
No.
Is that not what they say?
It's lemons and lemonade.
Lemonade, pina colada, you know what? Listen, this has gone on far too long. That's it for this week. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon, minus the pineapples.